as I was saying, as you know, YouTube doesn't allow me to go over the 10-minute mark with my videos. Um, so I grew up in a household with two uh, brothers, one who is 2 years older and a younger brother who's 3 years younger. So, that was my exposure to uh, kids. You know, um, again, I didn't. There were no neighbor kids that I played with. Um, my part of the block it's full of older people. They're and most of them were uh, single probably, and I think there were a few married people, but they were married people with no kids. So, we were just by ourselves, when it came to having playmates around. We didn't have any of these groups that young people have when they're that age, no special type get togethers. And, I sort of think that, if I had that kind of anchor early on, I think the later years would be much easier because I would have exposure to for example, the opposite sex earlier on. I'd be able to uh, have a lot of experience, speaking to the opposite sex, and just what is considered to be typical behavior for uh, a toddler. I'm talking, from two to two until maybe preschool age. And that brings me to my next thing is I didn't go to preschool. Um, my parents decided against sending me there. And it was the same with my brothers. They said, no, you don't need to go to preschool because, we can teach you what they teach you in preschool, but, the way it is, you can't, there's no way that they could have recreated what I could have gotten from preschool, being around young kids, uh, having kids to play with who were. I want to, put an exclamation point. Play with kids who are not my family. Being able to be social with kids who are not related to me, and which wasn't that hard to do because I don't know if you are familiar with a video I did where I talked about, I'm one of the few people that doesn't have a cousin. I have no cousins and never did. Even though I have, aunt and uncle, then I have another uncle. He's not married, never been married, no kids whatsoever, and that's my family. We're really small for a family. Um, that's attributed to certain factors that uh, I don't really want to get into right now, but I guess it would be interesting for all you to maybe hear about that side of the family history. Maybe I could do something on that, which it's very interesting, I must say. And I think it might explain a lot about why my family is so small the way it is. Um, I just don't want to, rattle anybody's cage when I talk about it, because it's something that it's really it's really difficult, I think, for people to hear, especially if their family hasn't been through a certain event. But see, I went off on a bit of a tangent there, but okay, so no preschool, no childhood playmates, except for my brothers. Um, and then once elementary school starts, okay, I don't know a single person. I'm just a small fish in big ocean, and pretty much left to fend for myself and make friends. And I'm going to put that in quotations because I really, at this point, I can't really say I know what it means to have a best friend, because I've been deceived a few times by certain people who have made claims that they wanted to be my friend and everything, but either they move, which was a few instances where the person who said he was my best friend ended up moving away. That actually happened 3 times. First time was when I was in 4th grade, and then the second time was after I graduated from elementary school, and then the third time was in my freshman year of high school. And those are stories that I should also probably have a special category for that, a video that I could dedicate to that issue. And then the most recent time was somebody that I had met on the college campus a few years ago. Now that I'm only talking about that in regards to people that I've actually seen in person and had a chance to talk face to face, one on one. You guys in my audience, you guys are great. I don't really have a lot of negative things to say. Just the occasional bad comment that I'll find, but I'm a big proponent of free speech, so you can say whatever you want about me. You don't know anything about me other than some of these videos where I go over my issues, but you don't really know my location exact. I'm saying exact location, so even your threats are not going to scare me. I'm not going to cover them up, because what are you going to do? You can't really. It's going to be hard for you to locate me. So just from the way the timer is clicking down on me, I think I'm going to have to yet again go and extend this into a third video. And just I want to just get all this stuff out, and let people who have just started to watch, let them get a history lesson, and I think that would be very beneficial.